Hey guys, welcome to Ross Reviews. This is Charlie bringing you the reaction and review to the still an Ollie trailer. This of course sees John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan take on the roles of Laurel and Hardy in what is a biopic really for those two guys. Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly, actually in a way, both well known for their comedic work. Not really as well respected for their serious work, even though I think they both are, good at that. Steve Coogan, I do feel like Steve Coogan is very much the sort of British counterpart in a very similar way to Steve Carell, who was of course very well known for his comedic work in The Office and various comedy films around that time as he was doing The Office, but not so much well respected during that period for his more serious roles. I'm a very big fan of the film Dan in Real Life, which was kind of his first. I feel like that was kind of the first time he got to show a more broader range. A little bit, and then obviously Foxcatcher came out, and then everyone sort of started taking him seriously. Steve Coogan kind of had something similar with Philomena, but then that kind of more serious work just didn't really materialize on the back of that, which is a bit of a shame. I actually haven't got around to watching Philomena. I always mean to. It's one of those films. It's one of those films I always mean to get around to watching and just haven't got to yet. But I know he was very well received in it. I think he's part of the production writing for that as well. But yeah, it was kind of a bit of a shame that he didn't get more work off the back of Philomena. I'm hoping this one might do the trick for him in that front, because he very much deserves to be in more things in more prominent roles rather than just typically being like the comedic support in that kind of stuff. Particularly in Hollywood, of course, being a British actor, still got to crack that more full time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I have actually seen a few Laurel and Hardy things personally. But as a child, it's been a long while since I've seen any Laurel and Hardy. It used to be on sort of in the morning on a weekend on BBC. So it's been a little while since I've seen Laurel and Hardy. I did enjoy them. I do remember enjoying them. Around that, particularly at the time, I used to watch like that Laurel and Hardy or Norman Wisdom. I think it was either one or the other or both around that time. They used to show sort of the Laurel and Hardy films and Norman Wisdom films. Sort of the masters of slapstick, as it were, around that kind of time on the weekend. I used to sort of catch them sort of at that time. I used to always just have the TV on at that time, and I used to be in a position to watch them. So I have seen some stuff from Laurel and Hardy, but I wouldn't be able to. I mean, I remember obviously the classic sort of piano stair scene. That's the only one that kind of stands out, if I'm honest. It's been far too long for me to remember everything I've seen of them, but I have seen it, and I am excited to see these guys hopefully tackle a little bit serious, but tied in. I think there's a good choice because they're both good at both. Like they've got the comedic timing and the comedic talent, which allows them to play the comedic side of Laurel and Hardy. But with this being a biopic, I suspect obviously there's going to be more dramatic scenes surrounding their actual comedic work. So, without further ado, let's watch this trailer. Hey.
Camera set. Okay, back projection. Cue music.
No.
And action.
For a second, I thought the director was Michael
Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy arrived in Britain today
man.
as they embarked on a national tour.
We're doing this while we're waiting for this new picture to come together.
I'm gonna make sure that this tour gets off on the right foot.
There it is. The Eiffel Tower.
There's that kind of stair scene.
It's amazing that you two are still going strong, still using the same old material.
Here they are.
Such a wonderful reception, isn't it, Ida?
It's okay.
Oh,
Two double acts for the price of one.
the actor's name.
Pretty empty last night.
Myrtle, but
I guess people just don't want to see Laurel and Hardy anymore.
Has he been pushing you a little too hard, babe?
You know, Stan.
sure
You could have said goodbye, Oliver, a long time ago.
We had a good thing going, but you had this big chip on your shoulder because I did a picture with someone else.
I couldn't sleep for days when they told me what you did. You're just a lazy ass who got lucky because you met me.
Lucky to spend my life with a man who hides behind his typewriter.
You betrayed me. Betrayed our friendship.
You're hollow.
You cannot go on stage again in your condition.
I love you, but I won't stand by and watch this nutty tour put you in a wooden box.
I should never have had us take this tour. I love him, Ida.
they do
You're
love the
not
bar.
leaving, are you, Stan? The show must go on.
When you watch our movies, it was just the two of
By the
us.
way, he does actually get to advertise himself as nominee.
All we had was each other.
Je ne regrette rien. And you shouldn't regret rien either.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stan Laurel and Mr. Oliver Hardy.
Yes. I mean, they do look the part.
I'll miss us when we're gone. So will you.
I'm always thankful for those bits at the end that tell me the actors' names in case I've forgotten who it is during the trailer. Shirley Henderson is the one who's famous for being obviously being Mona Myrtle and Harry Potter, but the wife in this. So yes, Shirley Henderson. Thank you for that end of the trailer. But yeah, they really do look the part. Obviously, this is kind of a chapter towards the end of their careers. I think a little bit. Obviously. So it's kind of a chapter that I have no awareness of as such at all. I suspect it's probably an area that a lot of people have very little information of or knowledge about, which is probably a good thing to do for Laurel and Hardy because they're well-known people, but at the same time they're obviously well-known people from reasonably long time ago now. For there's a lot of people who won't even know who they are. A lot of the modern generation probably don't even know who Laurel and Hardy are. Like I wouldn't even suspect a lot of people my age know who Laurel and Hardy are, if I'm honest. I got a bit lucky just because I happen to be... my parents are sort of a slightly older generation than a lot of my sort of peers as well, so I do have that kind of connection. They are sort of slightly more connected to slightly older things as well. But I have been obviously exposed to Laurel and Hardy through circumstance as well. So I am a little bit lucky in that way. But I still don't really know anything about them, if I'm honest, other than the basics. So I am intrigued to watch this. I'm very intrigued to watch this, particularly because of the actors. They do very much look the part. Even if I'm honest, I don't think that's the most convincing fat suit, kind of or facially, but it'll do. I'm not sure what exactly their biggest budget, but it's certainly no Gary Oldman quality for Winston Churchill, but it's good enough. At the very least, I hope that's a fat suit. And otherwise, John C. Reilly's gone full method for that one. I really hope that is a fat suit now. But I mean, they do look the part. They really do look the part. And Shirley Henderson is always great to watch in things. I think Shirley Henderson's a very underrated actress. She sort of ends up being in things. But never really gets the plaudits as such. But yeah, nice to see her in something slightly more, more mainstream, as it were. Again, I've no idea. I think it might be that other name, which I think was Nina something. I'm guessing that's who's playing. Laurel's wife. Had to think of the first name there briefly. Had to think of the full name. It's Stan Laurel, Oliver Hardy. But yeah, I'm guessing there might be Laurel's wife or partner. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about his history. So the blonde one. Don't really know anything about him, if I'm honest, on that. But yeah, looking forward to this. Judging by the way it's released in January, this looks like it might be part of award season. So hopefully this can maybe turn one of those nominees into a winner as well. It'd be nice to get either or both. I'm not sure actually who technically gets first billing in this situation, considering it's Oliver, Laurel and Hardy. They are equals, so I'm not technically sure who gets first billing in this situation, or whether or not they both get support. It's like one of those weird situations, like The Big Short, where pretty much where everyone in The Big Short was nominated as a support actor, and I'm not sure anyone was actually nominated as a lead actor in that one because they all sort of had even parts, as it were. Which is kind of that weird situation. Similar to Spotlight as well, even though I don't think anyone was nominated for acting for Spotlight, but they kind of all had even parts in Spotlight, which I think hampered their individual acting nominations in that same situation. Incidentally, Spotlight is probably the only film that's won the Oscar that I felt was my choice as well in recent years. I was like, yes, thank you for winning that one. I actually had a weird. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but I had a weird suspicion that Spotlight might have claimed that one, because obviously that was the year The Revenant was tipped to win everything pretty much, and I thought, Spotlight should win it. If I'm honest, having watched them both, I think Spotlight should win it, and it did. So it was the first time I've actually been pleased, like pleasantly surprised by the winner. Like, yes, he did it. Thank you. But anyway, back to Son and Ollie. Hopefully this gets one of those a win. But at the very least, I just hope it's good. Very sort of now. I think it's a good time to bring something like this out. But a good time to bring something like this out is just sort of as the generations have shifted away from maybe like Laurel and Hardy being common knowledge. It's probably a good time to release something like this because then it brings them back to the forefront and gives them the sort of the historical respect that they kind of deserve in terms of particularly within sort of cinematic history. They are very much a big part of cinematic history, even though sort of a lot of people of my generation and younger probably don't even know who they are or what their impact and legacy is really on today's cinema. So good to see something like this coming out around about now. It's probably the right time to do something like this for them. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you for the next reaction.